Good evening, fans, supporters and members of the Old Zaverian Soccer Club. Welcome to the Thirds 11's video review for round 6 in a game where we played Old Melbourne out at Menzies Park. We won the game on this occasion and... hold on a second. We won the game 4-0 on this occasion, with numerous goal scorers and a great all-round attacking effort by all the players. Our first goal was scored in the 7th minute, nice and early, from Whalen, who came back from injury. A great little bit of a shimmy and passes with Jeffersoni along the left-hand side, created the attack. And as Whalen tried to cross the ball in towards Woody, the ball came back out from Woody, back to Whalen, who put it in the back of the net and gave us a great start 7 minutes in. Then from there, we held control and sway of the game. However, we still seemed to play the balls in the air against a much more physical team, who seemed more destined on trying to bump us or knock us off the ball rather than trying to play the ball at 2 feet. They also kept bombarding us with long balls, which are dutifully cleared off the line by Tobin down back and Noodle, who held strong for the whole day and tried their hardest to keep the clean sheet, which in the end they did. Cheney came into the game towards the second part of the second half when we made a few changes, and Michael Ryan slotted straight into centre back and played fantastically, probably his best game for the club. With our numerous changes, we brought on Scott Brown, who went up front straight away and gave a delightful ball to Jundy as he strolled onto the pitch. And in the 41st minute, we scored our second goal with 2-0 up as we looked to go into the break. The game was constantly played on our terms, and in the first half, the highlights were John Hatzimanolis on the right, providing great balls down to our forwards in Woody and Nick. A couple of occasions, Nick had couple of balls that should have been in the back of the net, but he'll do better next time. We also had Tommy Edwards in the middle of the park, who controlled the ball and went for every header and didn't mind taking a couple of knocks for the team. And Bernie on the right was fantastic, just completely dominating their number 10. Numerous occasions he tried to bustle him off the ball, and Bernie just used his smarts and his body all in one and provide us with adequate defence, which was fantastic. The second half started off much like the first. We started to control the ball a lot better, and a delightful set of passes along the left again, which involved Jeffersoni, who passed the ball through to Scott, who then creatively used Nick to give himself a bit of space. Nick then provided a great ball back to Scott in the middle of the park, where he just slotted away another goal for the club. And that was our third, and we were 3-0 up, and we had the game before us. They started arguing amongst themselves and with the ref, but we had complete control over what we were doing. From there, the game turned into a bit more of a physical challenge rather than more of a mental one, with them physically applying odd tackles to us, with a couple of notables being the one to Scott, where he creating a free kick where he just absolutely got hacked from behind, and also with Woody. These actually brought out the yellow cards to an opposition player for the first time this year, which was a bit of a surprise in a game that was probably the best ref game that we've had all year. Our flurries forwards still seemed to come. We just couldn't put that another couple of goals on the board, and their keeper seemed to be saving everything left, right and centre. The final goal came really just for a bit of clever ingenuity. And also a little bit of slackness on their behalf, but Scott was very quick to pounce on their slackness. Having noticed that their defenders on a free kick had left Jundy basically free and goal side, Scott simply played a nice little through ball instead of having a shot himself to Jundy, who just, I think he even took a touch. He had that much time in the box and slotted away his second, and the third for the Thirds 11, probably taking his total this year to 40 or 50 so far, and we never looked headed. We won the game 4-0. It was a great all-round performance, but most notably, some of the players that had been down in previous weeks actually stepped up to the plate this week, which was fantastic. Tobin played his best game for the club this year, which was fantastic to see. Cheney likewise came out and towards the second half was really making some great runs and good clearances down back. And it was great to see the back four and Mullally keep a clean sheet, which is also a great display of defensive skill in the end by our players. Anyway, this week we've got a big game. We're playing against the Heidelberg Eagles, which are top of the table at the moment. We've now created that quasi-gap between the contenders and the pretenders in the league. There are probably 4, maybe 5 teams that can win the championship for where we are. And this week we're playing against a team that can win the championship, obviously being on top. We need to really be dedicated, come down to training this week. We'll put through a few nice skills and work on a couple of tactics. And we're also got the benefit of using Darebin this week, which is a great initiative by the club and also gives our training ground a bit of a rest during these just disgraceful winter period. Anyway, thank you for listening in. Remember that this report's brought to you by club sponsors the Rising Sun Hotel and also La Porchetta Q. See you guys next week.